Hey out there, it's Wake Angel 2001. It's 2 a.m. I just got home from work. The Sonic Boom episode was on demand because that stupid screensaver thing is still screwing up my VCR. And I just finally got a chance to watch the Sonic Boom episode. What was the title of it? Late Night Wars. It's a comedy Chimp / Knuckles episode. And it's good to see that one of the admirable things about a lot of the Cartoon Network shows like Adventure Time and stuff was that you could spend a lot of time focusing on what's supposed to be a side character and still get a good episode out of it. So, yeah. Also, before I forget, Comedy Chimp sounds a lot like Rick from Rick and Morty. I do not keep up on my voice actor trivia, so if it turns out that Comedy Chimp actually is Rick, then which would also kind of make him the voice of Lemon Grab from Adventure Time, if I'm recalling correctly, because Morty is Lemon Grab, but Rick and Morty is the same guy. So Comedy Chimp, Comedy Chimp sounds a lot like Rick, is what I'm saying. And I am too lazy and it's too late at night for me to bother reading credits to find out if he's the same voice, so I'm just going to say if he is, he is. If he's not, that's an amazing coincidence. Okay, so this episode, let's do the synopsis and I'll talk about more stuff. The episode starts with Comedy Chimp filming his standing in an autograph line, and his headshots are of him when he was a young man. He's all skinny and stuff, and the kids are saying commentary like, "This doesn't look like you. The guy in here is young and still has a glint of hope in his eye." And so Comedy Chimp decides that he needs to take some new headshots for his promotional material. So he's at the beach during the film shoot, and that Fox lady is taking pictures of him, telling him to do all kinds of things like do the cat, like doing all things. And says like, "Wow, I never watched a professional photo shoot before." And he was like, "You still haven't." Ooh, this episode is full of excellent zingers. I don't think I've seen so many effective zingers in a single episode since nope, I can't recall the last time I heard so many effective zingers. But then again, it's 2 in the morning. I can't even remember what I had for breakfast today. Wake up, man. So brain out of place. Okay, so during the photo shoot, Knuckles, he sees a discarded trash can on the ground. So he picks it up, inspects it for a few seconds, and then puts down his head. You know, as you do. Then he just starts kind of strutting around, doing all kinds of wacky stuff with this garbage can on his head, and completely distracts the photo lady, and she takes a bunch of pictures of him instead. Apparently, this is noteworthy enough to make the news, because he's on the front page of the newspaper the next day. So the people in the village are like, huh, is that the guy with the garbage can on his head? He doesn't look like he has a garbage can on his head. Like they like hold his hand up to cover the top of his. It is like, ooh, hey, garbage can head guy, autograph my newspaper. Yeah, mine too. I have a very low standard of celebrity. I will save that for later. So Knuckles becomes famous as the garbage can on the head guy. So everybody's making jokes. Comedy Chimp's talking about him. But then Comedy Chimp decides that he needs. When Comedy Chimp's new headshots come in, his assistant thinks that somebody's trying to blackmail him because they sent a bunch of horrible and embarrassing photos. When he looks like, these aren't my photos. These aren't blackmail photos. These are my new promotional headshots. But they all look horrible because apparently like he has one of those faces that when you look at it in HD, it's all wrinkly and horrifying. So he decides that he needs to get a facelift to make himself look younger. So that means that he's going to be away for a day, and he needs someone to do filler. So Soar the Eagle offers to do the job, but the thing is, Soar the Eagle is handsome and energetic and charismatic. So if we have Soar take over the role, then he's going to permanently take over the role. So he doesn't want that, so he wants to get some flash in the pan, famous for now, but everyone will forget about him the next day, funny guy to take over, and that's when he goes with the trash kind of head guy, Knuckles. So, so the deed is done. So Knuckles cannot do a late night show to save his life. He can't read cue cards, he can't deliver jokes, but one thing he can do is deliver physical comedy. Because when he tries to get closer to read the cue card better, the trash can slips over his eyes and he completely clutches over and falls, and the fox guy who sits on the side is like, "You, sir, are a master of slapstick tomfoolery." You know, like you know that guy, like, "You, sir, are fearless in your satire," you know, like stuff like that. So it turns out that everybody's laughing at Comedy Chimp, and everybody's laughing at Knuckles. And when Comedy Chimp comes back from his surgery, he finds the office is locked because they pretty much replaced him with Knuckles. So what's Comedy Chimp to do? I almost skipped over the most important part of the episode, the Knuckles' fame montage. Yeah, like, it turns out that having a trash can on his head gives him enough celebrity to like, be famous around the village. Like, he gets into exclusive nightclubs, and people want people wanting to dent trash cans in the same way so that they can put it on their heads and imitate him. And there was even a clip where he's walking with 2 Percy the Hedgehogs on his arm. Okay, do you remember the Justin Bieber episode where we got to see Percy the Hedgehog for the first time in the show as one of Justin Bieber's fans? Later on in that episode, like, they had a crowd shot where they, of course, reused models over and over again, as you do in animation. So there was like 5 Percys visible in the shot, and I saw jokes and fan art going on for days afterwards, showing like Percy having like 4 or 5 siblings, or like there being a Percy club, or like a Percy clone producing machine. But here we actually see Percy must actually be like a member of identical quintuplets or something, because Knuckles is walking around with 2 identical girls on her arms and they're both Percy. Like, holy crap. Okay, again, I have very little time to actually play video games these days, so I actually have just got to the part where I encountered Percy as an NPC. So far, all she's told me is that she's too busy guarding the village to talk to me. So I have actually met Percy in the game, but apparently Percy in the cartoon is like, she's the Officer Jenny or Nurse Joy of the Sonic Boom universe now, because there's apparently a ton of her when you need her. And oh my god, there's gonna be fan art tomorrow of Knuckles having threesomes with 2 Percys. You know the internet's gonna produce that. If not, I probably just put it into the public consciousness, so it's gonna happen. Anyway, so Comedy Chimp, like I said, is ousted as host, so what's he to do except contact Dr. Eggman? And he says that if Dr. Eggman attacks the studio and gets Knuckles off the air, then he'll let him stay on as a permanent sponsor. So, oh, by the way, Dr. Eggman tried to be Knuckles' sponsor, to which he refused, but Dave the intern offered him a 10% discount at Madburger if he puts the Madburger logo on his garbage can. He's like, done! Give me 15 Madburgers. Okay, so Knuckles is apparently actually doing an interview. It's this really cool-looking guy with a bandolier on who apparently is an action movie star. I hear your movie has great special effects. Let's go to the clip. And that's when the machines attack and start shooting lasers at him. To the action movie star's credit, he actually does manage to dodge the lasers, so, you know, maybe he's the Tom Cruise of the Sonic Boom universe and he does his own stunts. I am fearless in my satire! Okay, so so Dr. Eggman attacks, and Knuckles is still trying to do the show, but Sonic and all of his friends see the attack happening on TV because apparently it broadcasts live, so they all go to help Knuckles, but Styx wants to stick around and see what happens at the end. But eventually she relents and they all go, and they're fighting the robots outside when Styx, she comes in the studio and bangs into Knuckles and says that they need his help, says, "We'll be back after these messages." So he takes his hat off, he takes the garbage can off and he goes to fight them, oh, earlier Did I already say the part where Knuckles says, "Hey, Amy, you know what they say to me? Like, I weep," and Amy replies, "I weep for the future of our people," or "I weep for the future of our society," or something to that effect. Like, some of them say that, but most of them say that I'm cool. Like I said, so many zingers in this episode. So they defeat the robot horde. Comedy Chimp's like, "What have I done? Oh yeah, I got my show back." So he goes back and he takes the throne, he takes the seat in front of the show, and he does his thing, and that's where the episode ends. Now, oh, by the way that Eggman is defeated, he's about to issue an order to attack when Knuckles puts the garbage can in his head and he gets stuck, and he just kind of stumbles away, and all the robots who are ordered to follow his mark just kind of follow him. Okay, so this episode reminded me so much of a Krusty-centered episode of The Simpsons, and I mean early Simpsons, like Knuckles being a one-joke flash in the pan. That's the "I didn't do it" episode from when Bart Simpson did that. Was the "I didn't do it" kid from wow, some of you probably never even heard of that episode because it's like early Simpsons, like before season 5 Simpsons, but still, like a lot of early Simpsons in this, like the way the zingers are delivered, like Comedy Chimp was basically going through Krusty's has-been phase and his comeback phase, some of you younger kids in the audience may not know this, but Krusty has kind of gone into the has-been and resurgence storyline like 3 or 4 times over the length of the Simpsons series. It's just something they do every now and then when they realize Krusty hasn't done anything for a while. So yeah, like this was really funny. I mean, I know there's probably going to be some detractors that say that since Comedy Chimp is basically voiced by the show's director or something, a lot of people are going to say that this is like a self-insert fan character wank. But I say good comedy is good comedy, and this is good damn comedy. Like, I laughed so much. I actually had to pause and rewind a little bit while I was watching the episode because I was laughing over too many scenes. I found that I had to actually go back and reabsorb several lines because I couldn't pay attention because I was too distracted by how funny they were. This episode was freaking great, and it has so much for everybody. I'm pretty sure there's gonna be people freaking out over the whole 2 Percys thing. Yeah, so I don't wanna overstay my welcome because the worst thing a comedian can do is stay on stage for too long. So yeah. Bullet points. Comedy Chimp sounds a lot like Rick. His plotline reminded me a lot of a Krusty the Clown comeback special. Knuckles is like Bart Simpson, the "I didn't do it" kid, and this was probably one of the funniest episodes in the series for a while. So, yeah, good stuff, good stuff. This is Wake Angel 2001, and hopefully the cable guy will have worked out what the hell's wrong with this screensaver nonsense, and I'll be able to record the episode and do the vlog at the proper time instead of at 2 in the morning. See ya!